Good morning, and thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. We're delighted to join you and share the latest expansion news here in York County. We're going down the road in Acton, Maine. We've been here in Sanford for some time now and had a great response from consumers and businesses.
Yeah.
We've moved into Lebanon, Maine, and now it's Acton.
Yeah. I noticed when you were, I guess when you come into a community that you are starting up in, let's say Sanford,
right?
You have to lay all new cable for that when that happens?
Yeah.
Or do you grab somebody else's cable and pay a rent or something?
No. It's completely our own network from start to finish. And so there's quite a bit of focus in our network, and I'm delighted to be able to talk to you about it because really it focuses on reliability, powered by our local workforce. And so we'll talk a bit about all that today.
Yeah. I got to think, what an overwhelming job to come into a community and go down every street, I guess, and lay new cable for, I mean, that's just an awesome thing to do, right?
That's what's been at the heart of Comcast since its founding nearly 60 years ago. And you think about serving every street, and that's really what we do. Unlike our competition, we bring our services to consumers and businesses to every street in the community we serve here in York County.
So you're all over Sanford right now.
So yeah, it's correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Building out in Lebanon as well, and now in Acton.
Anybody live over in Lebanon? I thought there was only like 3 people that lived over there. I think the lady who works for me, she lives there, but I didn't know anybody else lived over. I'm just kidding, obviously.
We love
Lebanon's a nice community to go into, right?
We must be a rival chamber over there, I guess. Right?
No, there actually isn't. I'm just making fun of it. That's all.
But no, we couldn't be more delighted to be here in York County, and really excited to bring our Xfinity products and services to consumers. So that's internet, that's mobile. And of course, TV service along with Comcast Business Services.
Do you do phone service too?
We do.
Yeah, so it's all in one.
Yes.
The other communities like Lebanon and like Acton, which you're working actually right now, is what you're working on. Acton's a widespread, community. I mean, it's
sure is
a lot of place to go to. I mean, a lot of country roads and back roads and things like that. That must be quite a monumental task to hook everybody up in rural communities. Like, I mean, Sanford's dense, but up in the countryside, Lebanon, Acton, they're rural communities. So that's quite an expense to put that in, and quite a commitment for Comcast.
Yeah, we're lucky to have such a great, skilled team here who's accustomed to doing these build-outs. And you're right, it takes a bit of planning. But we're happy to be here in this area. And again, our network is grounded in reliability, so 99.9% reliable, which I think is industry leading. And then we back that up by our great local workforce. And then we offer leading products and services. So what that means is gig speed internet for consumers, Xfinity mobile service that provides great savings.
Is that like 5G? 5G?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whether you're at home or on the go.
Yeah.
And great Comcast Business Services that Dan will tell you all about later.
Wow. That's awesome. And I'm sure the people in Acton, there was announcements made. You had press releases and things, so it isn't any surprise to them. I guess, how soon, when you put in a new network, like say in a different community, let's just pick Acton, for instance, do you have to go to the city hall and at public hearings and all those things have to go through for them to accept you to be able to go put your infrastructure in?
Yeah, that's right. So we get a local franchise agreement with the community and lay out our commitment in writing, and then we go well beyond that commitment to offer great products and services and give back to the community as well.
So if you have to do a contract, I assume, with a community, is it fair to say your competition can do the same thing, or does each community, can they take more than one provider like that?
That's right. Any community can take any
whoever, right?
Exactly. But we're here. We're committed to York County, and delighted to continue to expand here now in Acton.
Where does Comcast come? I mean, what is Comcast? Where does it come from? What's the history of Comcast? And people I'm sure would like to know that. Like, you guys come from New Hampshire, or do you come from down south or overseas, or what is the Comcast story?
Yeah, so it's really a great story. So founded 6 years ago by Ralph Roberts, U.S. Navy veteran. And so giving back to the community is deep within the roots of the company. And from its very beginning, building out a network with reliable services was foundational to its goals. And that's what Comcast continues to do today for both consumers and businesses. And, we just continue to innovate and offer products and services that meet the needs of both consumers and businesses.
What is the stretch? Like you're in Sanford, you're going to Acton. I assume you'll be in Chapley pretty soon. You're in Lebanon. What is the far reaches of Comcast? I mean, New England?
Well,
is it beyond New England?
Yeah, so I'll give you the quick background on that for you and your audience. So Comcast is in 39 U.S. states and the District of Columbia today. And we also have other businesses such as NBC Universal and Sky.
All right.
But really focused here and talking about our work in New England and our work in Maine.
So you brought with you Dan Jalbert, who is the business side of Comcast. Dan, if you could slide in, we'll kick Mark out for a few minutes. And nice to meet you, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Rick. Thank you for having me.
Well, I'm glad you could come.
Good morning to your audience.
Yeah, I'm glad you could come today. So from the business side, so people, I was confused when you first came into Sanford, because I'm thinking Comcast, and then I start seeing Xfinity trucks or whatever, and I'm going, well, what is Xfinity something else? Or so for the audience, for everybody, can you kind of separate the two businesses or the two products identifications about this industry with you?
Sure thing, Rick. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Am I saying it right?
You are saying it right, absolutely. And I think it's good education for your audience, and especially us being new to town and that piece of it. So Comcast is our parent company, essentially. Xfinity is the brand that overlies the residential services. So your home, internet, phones, mobile services.
And Comcast deals with the businesses side of it.
And we have Comcast Business as our brand for.
Okay, that's something else. You just keep telling me what you got. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So I represent the Comcast Business. I have a field team that we've met many of the business owners throughout Sanford and Lebanon throughout the expansion. We go door to door and we speak with everyone with a local presence.
Yeah, they came door to door in our neighborhood. Very polite group. Knocked on the door, just asked, said that they were in the neighborhood looking to see if anybody was interested, and da-da-da-da-da. So, I mean, they were very professional.
Yes, yeah. Part of our education efforts, we really think it's important to be ingrained in the community and participate in stuff in the chamber and meet the business owners.
Yeah, well, disclosure, you are a chamber member and have been for several years. So this isn't like you just came here and joined. You've been a member for several years. You've sponsored even events. And I'm guessing you're going to sponsor some in the future, but you have been a good friend of the Chamber of Commerce and the businesses around here.
Yeah, thank you. And I think that's part of the business model is we want to be, we call it hyper local, and a lot of Mark spoke to it earlier. The people that are assisting us, our experts in the field that are building these networks are people that work, eat, and play in the Southern Maine area. Right, so that's a big piece of it. As far as going back to the Comcast Business piece of it, what we do is we provide businesses with the same connectivity that you heard at home with a little bit of a tweak, right? So it doesn't matter what the business is, right? Every single business can benefit and has an opportunity to use the services for Comcast Business. So for example, that could be a single employee barbershop or hair salon on Main Street that needs to take credit card payments or needs to manage their customer relationship management system and be able to text and that piece of it. We have a solution for them. It could be a 50-employee law firm or a manufacturing plant or something larger that can't afford to go down. Right, they need business continuity. It is their lifeblood. They're losing thousands of dollars if their services aren't working properly. We have a solution for them, right? We have recently introduced dedicated internet where we guarantee uptime. Right?
Really? Okay.
Correct.
Is there a redundancy thing? In the old days, you used to have I remember back years ago, because I used to do the economic development, is that we were at that time looking for call centers, and there were call centers looking here. And they always, I remember the word, we need to have redundancy. So, if something went down here, it has to be routed to something else. So our people aren't down when they're making calls or taking calls.
Yeah,
is it similar to that type of thing?
Redundancy is still a massive need for businesses, and we have solutions for that. Whether it be your internet goes down in the storm, right? Crazy storms in New England, especially here in Maine. Oh
boy! Yeah.
We have a cellular backup option. We call it Connection Pro. We have options for never miss a call. We say, right, it's important. You can't miss a call. You're on call, that piece of it. We have a Be Anywhere app where you're able to receive calls even if your phone lines are cut off at the pole or a truck crashed into the pole or
really?
There's a power outage.
You hook that up to the property.
Correct.
Okay,
yep.
Each property individually would have what you just said.
Yeah, we have a ton of different solutions specific to redundancy.
Wow.
And that is a big way that we win over customers and we sell value of Comcast business. Yeah. So
because we know in the countryside, right?
Correct.
Acton, Shapley, and I live up that way, is that I don't care what. There's a lot of I want to say remote areas that I see them on Facebook. A couple days later, they lost their power, they lost their internet, they lost all these things, and they're asking did you lose? It's a conversation amongst people on Facebook from that up in that area. Did you lose it? Yeah, we did, from here to here, and then from here to here. You get that. So people they know how to converse about that stuff, and none of them are happy about it. Losing power when it's snowing, or when the wind blows, or when it's raining hard, or I think catastrophic weather is quite more common than it used to be, huh?
Correct. Yeah. And Mark spoke to it earlier, and that's why we invest so much into our network. We're millions of dollars building out these projects, maintaining our network, upgrading our network, leveraging AI to make sure that when things happen, and they will happen, especially in New England, that our customers are cared for, both on the residential and the Comcast business side, right? We call it storm ready on the residential side, and it's specifically for that, right? Internet connectivity in general is becoming more and more important. We all know it. It's almost like the air that we breathe, especially for a business owner. So it's a huge focus on our part. That is essentially a big value point for a lot of our customers here in the Maine area.
When your salespeople go out and talk, like you and I are talking about your products and your services and such, and you talk about being storm ready, having the cell availability and those whatever else, and somebody says, "Hey, I live up in the country. I need that. I like that." Is it an over above cost to have that, or can you? I'm not going to pinpoint you down to the dollar or what anything costs, but when you compare anybody else that does what you're doing, and it seems to me you're doing something over and above, how does somebody afford that type of thing? I guess, having those availabilities for storms and things like that.
Right. Yeah. It's something that we build into our product line. We think it's that important. So typically there's not an extra cost. Sometimes, depending on the situation, hey, I need a certain piece of a device specific to my business. Right. We'll have a package that includes that.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to hold you to the fire on any of this, but it's just that people that'd be listening saying, I'd be interested, but boy, if everything is more, this costs more, that costs more, this costs more, maybe I don't want to discourage anybody by our conversation. I'm just curious, trying to figure out how things work. Yeah. How do you I'm going to be more curious about it while I've got you. If I'm living up in Acton, Maine, and you're going by, putting in your infrastructure, and your salespeople come to my house and say, would you like to have Infinity, right, as your Xfinity, I keep saying Infinity, Xfinity to be your provider. What does it generally cost? I mean, again, I'm not holding you to anything, but what does it cost to have internet and Wi-Fi and cable, in somebody's house up in Acton, Maine with you? Okay, we're going to switch back to Mark. Okay, Mark?
Yeah, so really we have products and services to meet the needs of customers of all across our offerings.
Yeah.
And really I think the best place to start, Rick, is talking about our mobile service. So both Xfinity Mobile for consumers and Comcast Business Mobile that Dan can talk about later on are designed for the internet age and for people to save money and for businesses to save money.
If I'm just a rural customer,
sure,
as my home,
sure,
I'm already down in Sanford and I got Comcast downtown,
right?
But at home I want you guys to be my provider.
Sure. Yeah,
so generally it costs.
Well, so give you an example. So let's again with mobile. So Xfinity Mobile as low as $20 a month for by the gig. We know that the vast majority of people are using their phones either at home or on the office where they have Wi-Fi available to them. And oh, by the way, we talked about how we continue to innovate. So we have developed what we call Power Boost. And so you get up to a gig speed automatically, which is basically among the fastest possible speeds on a mobile device because you're an Xfinity Mobile customer. And chances are you have access to an Xfinity Mobile hotspot. So we have 23 million plus hotspots around the country.
Really?
So wherever you go, it's automatically available to you because you're a customer.
Tell people what a hotspot is, because some people don't know what that is.
Yeah, sure. So when you're on the go at a popular shopping area or in a restaurant or pizza shop, chances are there's an Xfinity Mobile hotspot there for you. And again, as a customer, it's available at no additional cost.
But what is it?
Built in.
What is a hotspot?
It's part of Wi-Fi offering that's in a business establishment. So there's Wi-Fi capacity for the business to meet its needs, as Dan can tell you more about. And then there's also capacity for customers to use that Wi-Fi.
So if I came in with my cell phone,
correct,
and I knew that Comcast had a hotspot, I could find that on my phone that there was a hotspot at this place.
Exactly.
And that allows me to hook into the internet from there.
That's exactly right. And we want to make it as simple as possible for people. So the good news, Rick, is it automatically connects if you're an Xfinity Mobile customer.
I don't have to try it. Right. I guess it's there.
That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. And just make it as easy as possible.
Do you replace AT&T at that point and stuff like that? I mean, so are you the AT&T of...
So this is just one of our offerings, right? So there's so many different competitors across all lines of business. But from a mobile perspective, Xfinity Mobile for consumers or Comcast Business Mobile is another great choice.
I might be coming to you pretty soon.
Great.
Just for that.
Great. Well, happy to take care of you and get you connected.
Yeah. Nobody quote me on my radio show about that, but that's very interesting. I think that, and it seems to be very cost efficient to do.
It's something that's really resonated with customers too. So just in a very short period of time, we've added more than 7 million lines.
Wow.
In Xfinity Mobile. It's because it's really resonated with people.
Wow. I don't see that advertised on TV though. I mean, you get everybody. I mean, who doesn't advertise their mobile services on TV? I mean, half the commercials on TV are that, right? Yeah. The little guys, the big guys, and the little guys can do what the big guys do because they're on the same towers, and you get all that kind of stuff like that.
Well, as they say in the business, Rick, stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
I think you'll see more.
Okay, good. That's
good. And then I also wanted to go back.
Heard it on Rick Stanley's Chamber Talk.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to go back to what you were saying before and really underscore our focus on reliability. And part of our build out ensures reliability for all customers. So it's automatically built in to our network from the beginning of our construction.
Wow, that is state of the art.
And we do a variety of things too to oversee that experience and make sure that customers and businesses receive the products and services they expect and pay for, right? So not only do we have a great team, but we have a variety of advanced technologies. Dan talked a little about AI, and we also have developed some of our own custom technologies that ensure that every single modem, so millions of modems and gateways that provide Wi-Fi, are optimized every 20 minutes on our network to make sure that you're receiving the best possible speed inside your home or in your business or on the go.
How long does it take to hook somebody up if they say, hey, I'm going to switch to Xfinity?
Sure.
And your guys come up. How they got to come in your house, right?
Yes.
They have to. There's certain things they have to do. They bring. I assume they got your state of the art modem. They've got to hook into your system and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Is it a couple hour worth of work for them up there?
Well, so what's important to note, Rick, is we have a fantastic team, as I've talked about. And every installation is a pro installation from one of our highly trained technicians. So whether you're a consumer or a business owner, that installation will be taken care of for you to ensure an optimal experience.
Custom job for each house.
Exactly.
What you're saying.
Exactly, yes. And just as you'd expect, you make an appointment. We're there on time and take care of the job and explain all the products and services to you so you know how they work and you know how to find and take advantage of all the different offerings. So I talked about mobile on the internet side, Xfinity internet side. If your device is connected, it's protected. So not only do we provide a great, reliable connection, but we want to make sure it's a secure connection. And we offer a similar thing that Dan can talk about on the Comcast business side that makes it easy and secure for people to be connected.
Mark, you know your product. I got to tell you that for sure. I'm going to go back to Dan. Okay, you can slide that microphone. It makes a little noise in front of everybody. That's the way to go. Dan, tell us about the AI again. A little bit more about AI.
Okay.
People don't understand. You know, I mean, you got to realize that
AI.
Some of us older folks, as well as others, but don't get all the acronyms and get all the things that go on or understand them. So I think picking that stuff out so people understand it's important.
And I'll speak to the best of my ability because I'm like you, Rick. It's above my pay grade still, but I will tell you this. When we talk about AI in our network, what we're doing is we're infusing our network to become smarter. And we want it to become self-healing. And what I mean by self-healing is that it knows when something's wrong and it tells us when something's wrong. The older networks don't do that.
This is artificial intelligence.
Correct.
Okay? For those that don't know what AI is.
Right. Yeah, so we're leveraging the newest technology, right? We're a technology company. We want to be on the cutting edge, and our network needs to be able to support our customers in the best way possible. And the way that we do that is we create a network that allows it to be smarter, that allows us to sometimes know that there's an outage before you even know that at the house, right? So instead of having to call in the old days of, hey, my service is down, we already know the service is down. We've already rolled the truck before we even get the first phone call often. So it's really cool stuff. And it's the future, and it's a big part of the way that we win at Comcast is constantly investing into our network.
And it's expensive, and I know this is not something that, when gas came into Sanford, it never had it. I mean, they got to dig the ground up, right? And put the infrastructure in the ground, not even to get to the side streets. They got to dig up each side street if they ever want to get there. I can see those types of infrastructures can be so expensive.
And that's the beauty of our network is we're able to do so many things through software updates and other innovations. And so Dan really nailed it and hit it on the head with a great example of how we continue to provide a reliable experience. So many times we do things behind the scenes and we're able to spot outages before a customer even realizes it. And we're able to redirect the traffic through our fiber. And so that the customer has a seamless experience. Again, 99.9% reliability. That's unmatched.
That's pretty amazing. And I got to say, I don't know how it is downtown. I don't really know, but up in the country side, it's quite important to people that are in isolated areas, especially, where they have maybe a neighbor's not so close by or whatever. Reliability is a big, big thing. So what you're bringing up there is going to be very important to the people up in the residents of Shapley and Acton. I assume you're going to end up in Shapley. You got to go through Shapley to get to some Acton.
Your listeners will know first when that happens.
Okay.
But one thing I do want to emphasize is, again, our network here in Sanford, Lebanon, soon to be Acton, and perhaps additional places in the months and years to come in York County. It's the same network that we deploy in cities and other communities. So it's the same focus on reliability throughout our network wherever we serve our customers.
That's very important. And I'm so glad you came today because I'm sure there are people that Maybe they live with the way things are, and they're afraid to make a change just because it seems to them to be complicated.
Right.
But with you explaining this out, it really doesn't seem to be very complicated at all.
Well, thanks, Rick. And Dan had a couple of great examples to kind of just bring it home for your audience, especially small businesses, just how easy it is.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Did you want to hear it?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. And then because we're getting close to the end, so.
Yeah, absolutely. I will just kind of wrap it up with this, is that we look forward to the opportunity to speak with everyone. We find it important to be face-to-face, local, understand the community before recommending our products and make sure that it's a good fit. But as I said earlier, it doesn't matter the type of business. If you rely on internet for any part of your business, we have a solution for you. We'll ask you the questions about your business to make sure that we're recommending the right product and you have the right speed or product. And Mark mentioned it earlier, mobile is a great way to save money for business owners. It's a really tough time for a lot of business owners.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking at the budget. Comcast Business Mobile is an amazing way to save money and potentially get a better network with 5G, as you were speaking about earlier.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I want to thank you both for coming in today and explaining this. And I say it's for the audience, but it's for me. It's for me as well, right?
Absolutely.
So I need to know what's going on. I'm not familiar with how all this works. Technology is not my strong suit, I should say. So I want to thank you both, Mark Goodman, who is the Comcast spokesperson in all of New England, for being here today, and Dan Jalbert, who works the business side throughout all of New England as well. Both guests from Comcast businesses, and so Xfinity, in case you don't know the relationship, is part of the Comcast family. And so I want to thank them both for being my guests today. I'm Rick Stanley, your host of Chamber Talk on 104.3 Seacoast Oldies. I hope you enjoyed the conversation this morning, and I hope you join me again next week on Chamber Talk.
You've been listening to Chamber Talk with Rick Stanley, the weekly program from the Sanford Springvale Chamber of Commerce. Tune in next week for another edition of Chamber Talk on Seacoast Oldies.
Here's the York County forecast on Seacoast Oldies. A winter weather advisory is in effect through 6 a.m. Monday. Freezing rain and sleet will become plain rain this morning before ending in the afternoon with a high near 37. Tonight will bring patchy fog with rain after midnight with temperatures rising. There will be patchy fog Monday morning with rain ending before redeveloping in the afternoon. It'll be breezy with a high near 60. Clouds will decrease on Tuesday. It'll be breezy with a high near 47.